He started to say, the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. My dear people of God, in the diocese of Baghdad and all people of goodwill, as we stand at this crucial moment in our nation's civil journey, let us remember, elections are not merely political exercises. They are sacred acts of conscience and civic responsibility. This is a time for prayerful discernment. Every vote cast, every ballot counted, and every duty performed with integrity is a step toward the nation we long to become. In this study, we need shepherds after the heart of Jesus. The gospel we have just heard, where Jesus proclaims himself the good shepherd, is more than an image of pastoral care. It is a blueprint for leadership that is selfless, courageous, and rooted in love. Pope Francis put it clearly, shepherd must smell like a sheep. Present among the people, sharing in their struggles, listening to their stories, and responding with mercy. In the same way, leaders must not only speak from podiums or offices, but also walk with the rooted and stand with the poor. From this gospel, model of assertive leadership arise 5 essential virtues: compassion, conscience, competence, commitment, and community. Qualities we must seek in those who trust in public office. Number 1, compassion. Verse 27, it says, "My sheep hear my voice, I know them." Compassion begins with attentiveness. Jesus' knowledge of his love is neither distant nor abstract. It is deeply personal, empathetic, and responsive. I know them, he says. A compassionate leader listens to the cries of the poor, the displaced, the young, the marginalized, the forgotten, and even to the groaning of the Mother Earth. Like Jesus did not, to restore dignity, heal the wounds of society, and protect the integrity of religion, especially among the broken-hearted. Second, conscience. Verse 27, "They follow me." A leader with a warm and informed conscience discerns the path of truth, even when it is not popular or difficult. Jesus says, "They listen to my voice." This listening is more than hearing. It is a commitment to follow the voice of truth and justice. Such leaders resist the temptation to manipulate or compromise. Guided by faith and moral integrity, they act not for personal gain, but for the common good. Number 3, competence. Verse 15, "I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish." Jesus not only caring, but capable. He delivers what he promises. His leadership secures life, safety, and peace for his people. His actions match his words, and his results are enduring. A competent leader is one who not only tends well but acts effectively. Their service is marked by transparency, skill, and reliability. Public trust is preserved because actions are backed by diligence, knowledge, and excellence, ensuring no one is neglected or They shall never perish. No one will snatch them out of my hand. This is the language of unwavering fidelity. True leadership endures through crisis and sacrifice. Committed leaders will not abandon their responsibilities in difficult times. They stand firm, defending life, protecting the vulnerable, and fulfilling the duty even at great personal cost. Their loyalty lies not in position or privilege, but in the mission entrusted to them and the trust of the people. Number 5, common good. Verse 13, the Father and I are one. Jesus reveals the unity of the heart of his mission. The Father and I are one. True leadership seeks not to divide, but to unite around a shared purpose, the flourishing of all. The common good is the aim of good governance, where decisions are made not for personal gain or narrow interests, but for the dignity and well-being of every person, especially the most vulnerable. A leader who seeks the common good transcends self-interest and governs with solidarity, inclusion, and a deep sense of justice. In these 4 verses of John, we find a compelling portrait of Christ, the Good Shepherd, deeply compassionate, morally grounded, effective in mission, steadfast in trials, and united in communion with God and His people. This is the kind of leadership the gospel calls us to see, and the church must form in every sphere of public life. As we face crucial decisions in our society, may we measure our choices by these gospel standards. Let us listen to the voice of the true shepherd and follow him by choosing leaders who embody compassion, conscience, competence, commitment, and community. As your shepherd, I appeal to all the sectors of society to protect the integrity of the electoral process, guided by the image of Christ, the Good Shepherd. Roman number 1, appeal to the Commission on Elections of COMELEC. To the honorable men and women of the COMELEC, yours is a mission of truth and impartiality. We thank you for your efforts to uphold transparency and order. May you be vigilant guardians of democracy, impartial arbiters of disputes, and credible instruments of peace. May your work inspire trust and confidence in the electoral system. Roman 2, appeal to the electoral board serving the precinct. To our dedicated members of the electoral board, teachers and others who serve in polling places, thank you for your quiet heroism. Your long hours, calm presence, and patient service are a gift to the nation. You are entrusted with guarding the sanctity of the vote. Please stand firm for truth, act with impartiality, and remain patient amid pressure and complaints. Your dignity and integrity honor your profession and your calling. Roman number 3, appeal to the military and police. To our honorable men and women in uniform, as guardians of peace and democracy, you hold the sacred responsibility to protect the people and uphold the law. Remember, no one, no matter how powerful, can compel you to commit an immoral or unlawful act. As clearly stated in the PNP operational procedures and in the AFP Code of Ethics, You are not bound to obey any order that violates justice, truth, and human dignity. Our Constitution affirms that sovereignty resides in the people, and that civilian authority is supreme over the military. Let your service reflect the true strength of our republic, rooted in the fear, or not in fear or force, but in the moral courage to do what is right. Roman number 4. Appeal to PPCRP volunteers and poll watchers. To all volunteers, poll watchers, and those sacrificing their time to protect the vote, thank you. Your vigilance is an act of love. Serve with honesty. Be alert, but respectful. And remember that peace is also part of your mission. Let your presence be a witness of truth and a deterrent to wrongdoing. You are among the quiet heroes of our democracy. With dedication and sacrifice, we offer your time and energy to help ensure the integrity of the elections, not for profit, but for love of country and church. Your service reminds us that faith is not passive. It is linked in vigilance, integrity, and active participation in building a just society. We thank you for standing for truth, for fairness, and for the dignity of everyone, of every vote. As you fulfill your mission, first, remain faithful to the truth, especially when it is difficult or unpopular. Second, observe with honesty, report with clarity, and act with compassion. Third, guard not only the ballots, but the hope of that its vote represents. Fourthly, do your work in silence and humility, knowing that God sees even what is hidden. Your efforts are an extension of the Church's vision of truth and service. Roman number 5. To the supporters of our candidates, your passion and dedication to your chosen leaders are signs of a vibrant democracy. But let us remember, true support is shown not through hostility, threats, or violence, but through respectful engagement, peaceful presence, and truthful witness. Do not allow political loyalty to become an excuse for hurting others. Let your words build, not destroy. Let your actions reflect the very values you hope your candidate will embody in leadership. Elections are not wars to be won at all costs. They are sacred moments where the voice of the people is freely and peacefully heard. Let us uphold dignity, unity, and love for our country above all else. Be passionate, but always be peaceful. Roman number 6. Appeal to political candidates. Your desire to serve is a noble calling, but let it be pursued with integrity and peace. We appeal to you, do not allow desperation to lead you into violence, bribery, deception, or any act that betrays the people you hope to serve. The position we seek is not a prize to be won at all costs. It is a trust to be earned with honor and dignity. The means must be as pure as the end. A victory tainted by wrongdoing is not true victory. It brings no honor and leaves nothing to be proud of. The true test of leadership is not merely in winning, but in choosing the path of justice, even when it is hard. Lead by example. Choose peace. Uphold truth. Honor the dignity of every Filipino. Roman number 7. Appeal to the families of political candidates. To the family members of our esteemed political candidates, during the rigorous period of the election campaign, you, as the closest witnesses to the struggles and triumphs of your loved ones, bear a unique and invaluable perspective. You stand by them through the long hours of hard work, the weight of frustrations, and the moments of deep tension that come with the electoral process. You see firsthand the emotional highs with signs of hope emerge, and you feel the deep hurt and disappointment when attacks and negative campaigns arise from opposing parties. Your role in the journey of indispensable. As the most trusted companions and collaborators of the candidates, you are the sounding boards for their decision, the source of their strength, and often the anchor in turbulent times. More than anyone else, you know the value of guiding them with wisdom, discernment, and sense of deep integrity, especially when the pressure to restore violence and deceit becomes unbearable. You are in a privileged position to encourage your loved ones to stand firm in their commitment to win based on honesty, decency, and respect. You are the ones who can help them hold fast to their dignity, ensuring that their victory, when it comes, it is the genuine fruit of the people's free choice, not the result of underhanded tactics or manipulation. Such victory, won through the authentic will of the people, will bring respect and honor not only to the candidate, but to your entire family, shielding from the social embarrassment that often accompanies tainted triumphs. Your unwavering support, grounded in the values of truth and justice, will be the foundation upon which your leadership can stand strong. By standing for what is right, by ensuring that the road to victory is one of integrity, you will help preserve the dignity of your loved ones, the respect of others, and the honor of your entire family. May your counsel and love lead them to choose the path of righteousness, and may you all experience the joy of seeking the will that is truly earned, honorable, and worthy of the trust placed in them. Roman number 8, an appeal to families of the domestic church discerning together, voting in freedom. At this point, we turn our attention to one of the most vital communities of our nation and church, the family. As the domestic church, the family is not only the first school of faith and values, it is also the first school of citizenship. It is within the home that we first learn how to live in truth, freedom, justice, and love. I appeal to every family, let your home be a place of empowerment, not of pressure or control. The freedom of some place is a sacred right to every Filipino, regardless of age, gender, or education. No one should be forced, manipulated, or silenced. Let every vote cast be an expression of conscience, not of coercion. We encourage families to discern together, talk openly about the candidates, not just their popularity or promises, but their track records, values, integrity, and capacity to serve the common good. Gather facts, ask questions, weigh issues, through the lens of faith and moral responsibility. Then, above all, pray together. Ask the Holy Spirit to guide your family to make a decision that reflects both reason and righteousness. May the family become a sanctuary of truth, dialogue, and discernment. Let your vote, may the freedom and love be your gift as a family to the family. Roman number 9. An appeal to all the voters. The sanctity of the ballot, a moral responsibility. To my fellow voters, we draw near to the day of our national and local elections. Let us be reminded of our profound truth. The act of voting is not merely a civic duty. It is a sacred moral responsibility. The ballot we hold in our hands tomorrow is more than paper. It is a powerful symbol of our shared dignity and the equal worth of every Filipino citizen. In the eyes of God and the nation, each vote counts equally, whether cast by the rich or poor, by the educated or the unschooled, by those in cities or in the most remote paradise. Every vote carries